Good morning. It is April 13th and we just finished up homeschooling this morning. So the kids are swimming and I'm doing my favorite thing, gardening. So today I'm going to go over some of the things that I've already planted because I've been throwing things in the ground here and there and not really recording it. Some stuff I've recorded, so I just kind of want to show you what I've done so far and go from there. So the first thing that I wanted to start with in this side yard area, for reference, here's the pool and the hot tub. Hi! So this is where our tropical garden used to be. And I do kind of have a vision for what I eventually want this area to look like. You know, eventually I'd like to not really see much of the fence at all, with just layers of tropical color and foliage, different shades of foliage, all right here. So some of the base plants that I knew I wanted to start with are already in. So new for me are these 3 Rose of Sharon plants by Proven Winners. These are their purple pillar variety, and I'll tell you a little bit about them as I post a video of me planting them. They should eventually get to about 10 to 16 feet tall, and they are absolutely gorgeous in pictures, so I can only imagine that they'll eventually fill up this whole area. They only get about 2 to 3 feet wide, so I have them spaced 3 feet apart, and I just expect them to completely cover this fence. I mean, the fence is about 6 feet tall, so maybe 7 feet tall. Might be 7 feet tall. I don't know. But if the plant gets 10 to 16 feet tall, then it'll tower way over that, and be absolutely gorgeous when it's in bloom with those purple flowers. So I'm really hoping it's kind of like a showstopper backdrop there. A few other things that I've done here. So we had moved these rocks here from our leftover pool rocks. Sorry about the kids yelling. And I originally thought they would be, we have one stack here and one stack over there. I thought they would be a good kind of grounding piece in this area, but honestly, now that I'm planting, I'm running out of room really quickly. And so I think we're gonna end up moving those because I have so many things that I really want to put in here, and I still have all these pots of things that I ideally would prefer to be over here. So we're probably going to move those at some point. The next thing that I put in here are these giant colocasia bulbs, and these are the same variety, if you saw my colocasia video, that were in the back there that I thought were maybe like the Thai giant ones. I found these in the nature preserve back behind my neighbor's house. She used to have them along the back of her pool. This was like 2 owners ago, and she pulled them all up and threw them over her fence into the nature preserve. So a season later, they were all growing in the nature preserve, and they're huge and gorgeous, and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna go to waste. I'm gonna go get those. So I went and got them, a few of them, and I had them planted there. And so this past spring I saw more popping up, so I went and got those, and here we are. So I have several of them posted throughout here, and so they're growing up and getting big, and they're going to be huge. The leaf size is the size of my head and chest combined when they're at their biggest, so they're really nice and big. So otherwise, I have this oleander in a pot here. This will stays green throughout the winter, and it's going to have these pretty pink blooms. They've been budded up for quite a while, and they haven't opened just yet. I'm excited to see them open up. I think that'll stay right there, but I'm not sure yet. I might move it over. Once we move those rocks, I might move it over just a little bit, so it'll kind of be more in between those Rose of Sharon. And then next I've put in, these are, I have to remember the name of those. Anyway, I put 2 of those, and they look rough right now because the sprinklers went off this morning, and so they're a little beaten up. And I need to go ahead and prune those back. They were in hanging pots, and so they're already pretty old from the nursery. So I need to go ahead and prune those back, and they'll flush out again. And then I put 1 sweet potato vine here because I know from experience that's going to fill up this whole area. I have 2 more, but these are still in their little nursery pots, so I still need to put those somewhere. I was saving them after we moved those rocks to kind of fill in that area as well. And then I popped in some more colocasia. That's the giant variety. This one is the diamond head. It's a little grouping of them. Those will also kind of spread eventually. I have some more right here. And then you can see lots of little green sprouts in the ground, which are technically weeds because they fell from, or they're growing from all these little seeds from like the ash trees and such that's been falling for the past month. So now they're sprouting. Isn't that fun? Oh, blackberry. I know. I'm here and you want love. I'm here. I know. You're so sweet. So I'm thinking I'll put down some cardboard or something to kind of smother out most of these weeds, and I'll mulch this area, but I just want to finish planting first. So next I have this hibiscus here, and there's another one hiding in here. So these are Proven Winners variety of Summerific Hibiscus. This one is, I have to remember the name. I'll post the name right now. These get huge. I've only had them in pots the past 1.5 years, so I never really saw them at their peak. But from what Proven Winners says, they get to be about 5 by 5 feet. And so if that's the case, it's going to fill in this whole area. These green sprouts are coming from the root base of this hibiscus. So all of these are just from last year, and these just get pruned every year because the new growth comes from the roots. And so this one also has the little leaves coming from the roots there. So if they get 5 feet, like they said, it'll fill in like this whole area. And I'll post a picture from Proven Winners website to show you what these will eventually look like. If that's the case, it's going to be amazing. I have a banana tree back here, which will also get really tall. And this is a castor oil plant. It's still in a pot. I don't think I'm keeping it here necessarily. It'll probably get moved back here. But this is a beautiful plant, but it is poisonous, so just FYI. This is a Confederate Rose that I took a cutting from my big giant Confederate Rose that I have in the corner there. And so it's in a pot currently. I may remove it from the pot. I just had it here temporarily. And what's funny is what was in this pot before was a Datura devil's trumpet, and it died over the winter. And then I realized I have little seedlings popping up from the Datura plant. These are all Datura. So when the seed pods dropped off of the Datura, they obviously germinated. So that's pretty awesome. So I will remove those and pop those up separately. So all right here, I had added soil from, so like this edge was like way higher than the soil line. So you'll see in this video, we had a bunch of soil here that I had the guys place there when they removed soil for the palm trees. So when our 2 palm trees were installed, I told the guys, please don't haul off that dirt. I need it to level out my ground. So I had them wheelbarrow it over here and just make a big old pile. And then I took that and spread it all right here to kind of level it out and make it higher. So I did that first, before I planted anything. So that's why it's kind of just a mess of dirt and mud. Here I have planted a tangerine crossvine, and these flowers are so pretty. And I'll post a couple pictures up of what this will eventually look like. But what I am going to do is train it up to come up here and then go over this way laterally, so the vining will just kind of drape over the fence, and I'll post a picture of kind of what that would look like. And so it should cover most of this fence with these beautiful blooms, and I think that's going to be really fun. It'll look very tropical, and that is really hardy in our area. I have Calla Lilies I still haven't planted. I have several pots of cannas. I just have to decide the best placement for them because they can get a little bit invasive. I need to make sure it's an area that I'm comfortable with either pulling up cannas or whatever. And the height is also kind of a factor, so I will place those later. I still have my plumeria in pots here that I need to kind of decide where those will go. This whole area is kind of blank other than a couple of elephant ears that I have here. But these Calla Lilies were here when I moved here several years ago, and they have come up over and over again every year. They're naturalizing and producing more each year. So Calla Lilies, great plant, because they made it through Snowmageddon, and they made it through the pool guys digging up this whole area to put drainage to go towards the back there. I thought they were goners. Like I figured that all the digging just destroyed them, but clearly not. They are beautiful. And then we have also some fern down there that also naturalizes in this area. All that back part's just weeds that'll die out when it gets hot. My agave there in the pot, have to figure out what to do with that. Then I have bamboo in pots here. Also not sure where that's gonna go just yet. All the weeds are a process. But that's that like sticky weed, and they kind of die off when it gets hot, so that shouldn't be a problem in a couple months. But this hope philodendron is coming back after the freeze. And then I have some variegated ginger in a pot here that needs to eventually be moved. And so lots to do back here. You know, it's just one step at a time, I tell myself. This back area will be the next video that I'll kind of walk you through, but that Japanese maple right now is just the light of my life. It's so gorgeous. I love it so much. So today I think I'm going to focus on getting a few more plants in the ground here. I'm going to go ahead, oh, now they're in the hot tub. I'm going to go ahead and plant this dwarf banana tree. Probably, I'm thinking we might need to get these rocks moved today so I can plant it right here. I don't know, I'm so undecided about where to put this, because it could also go right here, but I'm a little afraid it's going to get too much shade from this tree. I knew I wanted some color in this area, so I did a Mandevilla, which will climb up that trellis, some verbena, sweet potato vine to drape over the sides, and a couple of dianthus. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and as always, I hope this inspires you to go plant today.